Hey guys, we wanted to go over a mod that we added to our little guy. Chris added a two-way HDMI splitter, and we were going to show you kind of how that works, and Chris was going to explain it to you a little bit better.
If you're like me, you've always wondered why in the little Guy Max that the TVs and the stereo don't connect better using the HDMI cables. Well, I decided I wanted to do something about that, and so we added a two-way HDMI splitter because there's only one HDMI port on the back of my Furrion sound system. So I'll show you a little bit on how it works and what we're doing here in just a second. So this is a view underneath underneath the sink to the back of my Furrion sound system, and the way that the TVs are connected to the stereo is through the RCA jacks, the yellow, red, and white currently. I wanted to change it so that they use the HDMI port, which was right here. So in order to do that, I left the RCA jacks in place, but I had to run HDMI cable from the front TV and from the back TV. For the front TV, we had to run a 25-foot HDMI cable. So it started at the TV, went back behind the front panel underneath, ran underneath the front cushion where the water heater is, passed underneath the shower, which you could feed through with a coat hanger or something like that, continuing underneath the refrigerator and that drawer, underneath the wardrobe in the closet, underneath the bed and the drawer, and then through this cabinet, up this cabinet, until you get it to come out here into this little area beside the rear TV. From there, we also had to run a separate HDMI cable back through the cabinet, behind the drawers, and back up by the sink to the back of the Furrion stereo. So this device right here, did get that from Amazon. It is a two-way HDMI splitter. Two-way meaning that it provides both input and output. So what I can do is I can use it to both feed an HDMI signal from the stereo to the TV, for the DVD player, for example. And you'll notice it has a button on there. I can choose one or two. One is my front TV, two is my back TV, the way that I have it wired. And so it will let me play one at a time that way. And generally speaking, when we're watching a movie, that's the way it would go. However, because it's a two-way splitter, it also lets me feed the sound from my TV back into my stereo so that I can play it. We'll demonstrate. With the regular setup of the TV, the sound plays out of the TV speakers themselves. What we wanted to do was to play them through the stereo speakers, either here on either side of the TV or in the back by the bed in the bedroom. So with the setup we have with the HDMI cables, what that allows me to do is to control or to set it up so that the sound will come through the stereo. In order to do that, there's a couple of things you have to do. Once you've got all the wires connected, you'll hit the auxiliary button until the auxiliary changes and until you see ARC, A-R-C. Once you do that, then the sound will change from the TV speakers and now can be controlled and are now coming through the stereo speakers. So, because of this, now I can also control which zone of speakers I want to hear. So if I want to hear only in zone 1, I'll turn zone 1 on. If I want to hear outside, I can push zone 2 turn zone 2 on. If I want to hear in the back, in the bedroom, I press the zone 3 button and zone 3 is on, or any combination of those. So now I have something playing in the front TV, and I have something different playing in the rear TV. So the button that's here will control what plays through the speakers. So right now it is number 1. If I push it and change it to number 2, it's going to change so that now
the other thing was knowing the depth on this team and the fact
now
that,
I have the rear TV playing through the speakers with a simple push of the button.
It's smart of Jill to be able to